How's it going, everybody? It's your man Leonidas, aka Mr. Homebrew. Here we are. Got a nice new package for everybody. This is going to be an installation tutorial for those who are new to the channel and to Homebrew. I'm gonna have some informative information for you guys. So this might be a two-part video. Both parts of this video are important. I'm gonna try and cover some key aspects and some things that you guys might have questions about or might want to understand a little more, that kind of thing. So, why do you want to run Homebrew on your Nintendo Switch? Well, for one, you might want to enjoy the one and only RetroArch. As you can see, I have it running right now on the right hand side there, running pretty good. You can play anything from old arcade games back in the 80s, Game Boy Advance, Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1, and 64, which is still in development and beta, but you can play many games. Performance is going to be increased with the package included in this video and description for everybody, whether you're new to the channel or not. Now, another reason why you may want to run Homebrew on your Nintendo Switch is you may want to have some fun with a custom theme. As you can see, I got one running myself right there. Looks pretty good. No complaints. Launch up all apps. You can see the way it lays out. You got 3 rows as opposed to seeing 2.5 rows, which is a waste. Now, I'm going to be going over the themes and everything like that for you guys. Now, let's turn this bad boy off. Time to get Homebrew running. If you're starting from scratch and you've never done this before, you're going to want to power off your Nintendo Switch completely. Give it a moment. Once you got it off completely, you're going to want to remove your back cover, just like I did there. Remove your micro SD card. Now you're going to want to take your micro SD card. You're going to want to plug it into your computer. The format of your micro SD card should be FAT32. If you're running exFAT and you're running Homebrew, you could have file corruption. The reliability of many Homebrew apps is going to be compromised with that file corruption, especially RetroArch 2. You don't want to have problems with your save states or anything like that, right? And you want to know that you can run your games without having crashes. It is recommended to run Atmosphere when it comes to this. That's the most compatibility, the highest reliability. So what you're going to want to do is make sure your micro SD card, again, is FAT32. If you have to format it, make sure you back up all necessary files beforehand. Format the FAT32 because it will erase all the files on your micro SD card. Now what you're going to want to do, in the description, you're going to have the Mr. Homebrew Black and Yellow 5.0 zip. That name may change within the next release. And you're going to want to open up that zip file. I already extracted it into a folder, so I'm going to open that up. Now, everything within this folder, you're going to want to drag and drop onto your micro SD card. The only things that you really need to say on your desktop or your Android device could be the payloads or the desktop files. Both those folders are in capital letters, so you know that they're not necessarily needed on your micro SD card for this process. Now, my micro SD card is inserted. You're going to go to the root of your micro SD card. So I'm just going to go into it. You're not going to go into any folders or anything on your micro SD card. Make sure it is formatted, as I said, as FAT32. Now, you're going to drag and drop everything onto your micro SD card from the package file except for the desktop files and the payload files. Those you're going to need either from your computer or your Android device, like I said, however you're going to send your payload. Now, drag and drop all that onto your micro SD card. I'm not going to do that now just because I already have everything there. Once you do drag and drop, let it all copy over. Let it do its thing. Be patient. Never rush the process. Now, once that's done, everything's copied over, you're good to go. You're going to want to close that up. You're going to want to eject your micro SD card properly. So you're going to want to eject it through Windows. Looks like my computer's being a little finicky when it comes to removing it. I'm going to eject it properly. Safe to remove. Pull that out. Take that micro SD card. I'm going to put it into my Nintendo Switch. Now you're going to need an RCM jig, or if you're using auto RCM, then you can use auto RCM to get into RCM mode. But if you don't, you got a jig, you're going to remove that right Joy-Con slot. You're going to slide this jig in, slide it down. It's either going to short out pins 1 and 10 or pins 10 and 9. Yes, 1 and 10 and 10 and 9. Either one. They're going to hold the volume up button and then the power button for 1, 2, 3. Your screen should remain black. That will mean you're in RCM mode. Now, if you're using Tegra RCM GUI, you'll send your payload from Windows using that. If you're using Ricardo on Android, you can send your payload from that. Recommend using the HeatCape payload. That's going to get you into Atmosphere. Now, I got my RCM loader. I'm going to plug this in to my Nintendo Switch as it is in RCM mode. Now, I see that splash screen. That's because I do have auto RCM, and I have it so my Nintendo Switch turns off completely. I'm going to hit that power button again for myself, and bang, there I am. Good to go. So my RCM loader has the payload. It automatically sends it, as you've seen there. If you were using Tegra RCM GUI, you would have to send the payload from your Windows computer. If you're using Ricardo, you would have to send it from your Android device, the payload. Again, the HeatCape payload, which is included in the package. Now, once you get up and running, as you can see, things are really good. Beautiful theme. Good to go. Now, to get into Homebrew, you're going to want to use Pokemon Quest. That's going to load you right into Homebrew. Bang. Everything you need there. Now, on top of that, I also have it so if you want to launch into Homebrew, you can do it from the Albums menu. Now, you won't utilize all RAM when you launch in from the Albums menu. So you need to keep that in mind. If you want to utilize all RAM, you got to do it through Pokemon Quest. Now, that's basically what I'm going to go through for the time being. I'm going to do the second part to this video. I'm going to go over a bunch of other things that I want you guys to know and be informed about. Answer some questions you guys may have before you even have to shoot those questions to your man, Mr. Homebrew. Overall, you guys are going to see increased performance when it comes to running N64. RetroArch should be running really good. Everything like that. As I said, I got a couple of things I'm going to go over, the themes and everything, how you guys can jump between a couple of themes and other aspects of what we got going on here right now. Like I said, if you want to utilize all that RAM, you want to launch using Pokemon Quest to get into Homebrew and then launch RetroArch using that, because you won't have crashing when it comes to running N64 and things like that. All the best. See you guys in the second part to this video. Your man, Mr. Homebrew. Take care.